Hi, hope you've all had a good cup of coffee this morning. Maybe an even single-use cup. Disposable cups have become ubiquitous. Cup usage in the UK has reached staggering levels. And what I just did is all too common. According to research, approximately 3.8 billion disposable coffee cups will be used in the UK every year. This translates to over 10 million cups being discarded daily, a truly alarming figure. To give this some kind of perspective, if these cups were lined up end to end, they would wrap around the Earth 8.5 times. Here on the Isle of Man, we estimate this equates to 4.75 million cups a year. That's the equivalent of 289 tonnes of CO2 annually. I was going to say I could hear you all groan now, he's talking about CO2. They always go on about CO2, don't they? Well, I like to equate these numbers to something that's really easy for everyone to understand. 289 tonnes of CO2 is equivalent to all the bubbles in 3.6 trillion bottles of Coke. This alarming statistic highlights why there is an urgent need for action to address the environmental impact of something as simple as disposable cups. The use of disposable coffee cups has significant environmental impact. Despite their appearance, most disposable cups are not easily recyclable due to their plastic lining. As a result, only a percentage of cups actually do get recycled. Research by the Environmental Investigation Agency suggests that less than 1% of disposable cups are recycled in the UK. This means that they end up in landfill, incinerated, or as litter in the environment, where they take hundreds of years to decompose. Don't worry, I hear you say, we're using compostable cups. Well, here's the reality check. They don't compost under normal conditions. So unless you have a specialist composting plant, and when I drove around the Isle of Man 2 weeks ago, I couldn't find it, they mainly go up in smoke. I'm Tony McGurk, founder of ReUniverse, where we've developed a pioneering ecotech that drives the reuse economy. Our CEO, my colleague Rachel Warren, will now tell you how we can all address this issue. So over to Rachel.
Thanks, Tony. So the opportunity for digital reuse covers all sorts of retail packaging and containers, not just drinkware. And I'm going to delve a little bit deeper into the ReUniverse platform, which is already delivering successful reuse schemes. For example, at Blenheim Palace, our work there is seeing carbon reduced by 32 tonnes, 500,000 single-use cups every year are eliminated. So let's bring it to life and look at how it could work here on the Isle of Man. Imagine the whole island taking part in a permanent reusable cup project, eliminating single-use cups entirely and replacing them with reusable cups used again, and again, from Noah's coffee shop through to a staff tea break or a pint of beer at the TT. A scheme utilising the skills of the local community for logistics and washing and showcasing the Isle of Man as champions when it comes to reducing single use, the first nation in the world to show others how it's done. So hold that thought. I'm going to share how it can be done. Firstly, there are two types of scheme you could choose from: a deposit refund, when a customer pays a deposit for the reusable container at point of purchase, and that deposit is given back once that cup has been returned, or a penalty, which is when a hold is placed on the customer's card, and again, that hold is released at point of cup return. And that return can be in any smart or non-smart return point located around the whole island. And there's different ways of eliminating the scheme, depending on the environment. But if we assume a deposit return scheme in a coffee shop or bar, vendors simply scan the cup out, take the deposit and serve the drink to the customer. When the customer returns their cup, it's validated through tech and they receive their deposit back instantly, incentivising them to keep the cups in the system for as long as possible. It's all held together by the ReUniverse platform, the backbone of the scheme making it work. Each cup is smart enabled with a unique QR code on it, paired with a unique RFID chip, which means we can track and trace each cup from point of sale to return to wash, and also helps the logistics team to manage inventory and get cups to the right place at the right time. We make reuse schemes as simple as possible by connecting the payment card with the container at point of purchase, which allows an instant refund at cup return. No phone needed, no scanning, no app, no fuss. It really is as easy as single use for the consumer. And that sounds like magic, and it kind of is. We've been collaborating really hard, working really hard with MasterCard, who've helped us with this pioneering solution that we're going to be launching this summer. And this is the first of its kind, actually. So we're really honoured to have MasterCard and other payment providers working with us on this. So we make it easy for you, our hopeful client, to run such a scheme, a multi-layered solution that works seamlessly with access to real-time data, accurate insights. And this is something that we actually share with our clients. And there's an easy dashboard so that you can see where those cups are at any one point in time, how much data, how much carbon you've saved, what the return and what the reuse rate is. So hopefully this will inspire you to see the big and exciting reuse picture, setting high standards and sustainable expectations for businesses, citizens and visitors to the Isle of Man. And to take a comment that Kiri made earlier, why? Well, why not? And I'm now handing over to Steve, our commercial director, to share the impact this could have for the island. Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel. Well, we've been over to the island before today, and when we speak to people, it's quite obvious that most of the cups used are these compostable cups. But there is no composting facility, as we've heard. And that really is the worst of both worlds. You're paying a premium for an expensive cup, but you're not getting the intended carbon benefits that go with that because they're being incinerated. And we know that with a well-run reuse system, either with deposits or penalties, there are real commercial savings to be had for the retailers. It saves significant amounts of carbon. It creates jobs too. And we've always felt that there's a good opportunity for a social enterprise with some of those jobs. And we've spoken to the prison where they're interested in having a washing facility for the cups. And we've also spoken to Recycle Collect about the backhaul logistics and redistribution. It reduces litter as well, because a reusable cup like this, you're not going to throw away. And no incineration or landfill. So there are some real social, economic and environmental benefits to shifting to reuse. And in terms of that impact, those 4.75 million cups that are used on the island every year can be reduced to 190,000 reusable cups, saving roughly 25% of the cost for retailers, and saving 216 out of the 289 tonnes that the single-use cups consume each year, and with zero waste. And I'm happy to go through any of the assumptions in these after the talk. And when we speak to people on the island, it's very clear that they want positive change. People like Miles at Noah's Bakehouse, who really believes that a reusable cup scheme could bring real change for good, not just a feel-good factor that the compostable cup brings. And we're seeing change across the world. It's not just on the Isle of Man. We brought in the 2022 legislation for getting rid of single use here, and we've got the Climate Change Action Plan as well. But, you know, coffee cups carry a strong message. We all use them today. We're all using them. And do we want to use a plastic-coated paper cup, or do we want to use a much nicer cup and return it? So if you want to think about the biosphere, you really need to think about reuse. And what I would say is that, you know, just think about some of those benefits. We've presented today a simple solution to what is a difficult problem, but it's taken us years to develop it and to perfect it. But it's because we're so passionate about bringing positive change, especially to somewhere like the island, where you can be that first nation in the world to actually get rid of single use altogether. And we're excited about some of the collaborations that we're building up already with people on the island, both in government and in commercial businesses as well.
10 seconds left.
So if you want to change things and make a difference, Think reuse, think ReUniverse. Thank you.